There is no plant in the American garden that breaks more hearts than the blueberry bush. Every spring, millions of people go to the nursery. They see photos of bushes exploding with giant sweet berries. They dream of homemade muffins and pancakes. They buy the bush, they dig a hole, they plant it next to their tomatoes, they water it, and then the slow death begins. First, the leaves turn yellow. Then, the growth stops. The berries, if they come at all, are sour and tiny. And by year 3, the plant is a dry stick in the ground. I have seen this happen thousands of times. And it's not because you have a black thumb. It's not because the plant was sick. It's because you treated the blueberry like a normal garden plant. But the blueberry is not normal. It is a wild creature of the mountains and the swamps. It follows a completely different set of biological rules than your peppers or your roses. If you treat a blueberry bush like a vegetable, it will die. If you treat it like a wild, acid-loving beast, it will outlive you. A happy blueberry bush can produce fruit for 50 years. It is December 18th. The bushes are dormant. But this is the most critical time to fix your mistakes. Today, I am going to teach you the 5 laws of the blueberry. If you follow these, you won't just keep them alive. You will have so much fruit, you'll be begging neighbors to take it. We are going to talk about the acid secret, the tap water poison, and the one heartbreaking thing you must do in the first year to guarantee a lifetime of harvest. Let's save your blueberries. The first law is the one everyone ignores, and it is the reason 90% of bushes die. pH. Most vegetables, tomatoes, beans, corn, love a neutral soil. A pH of 6.5 or 7.0. This is sweet soil. Blueberries hate sweet soil. They effectively starve to death in it. Blueberries evolved in pine forests and peat bogs. They crave acid. They need a pH between 4.5 and 5.0. This is incredibly acidic. It is almost like vinegar. When the pH is too high, above 5.5, the blueberry plant loses the ability to uptake iron. The iron is in the soil, but the plant is chemically locked out from eating it. The leaves turn yellow, chlorosis, and the plant slowly starves. You cannot just guess. You cannot just throw some coffee grounds on it. That's a myth. Coffee grounds aren't acidic enough. You need elemental sulfur, and you need time. Sulfur relies on soil bacteria to break down into sulfuric acid. This process takes months. That is why we talk about this in December. If you are planning to plant blueberries this spring, or if you have sick bushes, you need to apply soil acidifier now. Buy a bag of elemental sulfur, often sold as soil acidifier. Sprinkle it around the drip line of the bush. Let the winter snow and rain wash it in. By spring, the bacteria will have done their work and the pH will drop. If your soil is naturally alkaline, clay or limestone, stop fighting nature. You will never win. Instead, plant your blueberries in pots or raised beds. Fill them with a mix of 50% peat moss, which is naturally acidic, and 50% pine bark. Do not use regular garden soil. Create an artificial acid island for them. Law number 2. Blueberries do not have legs. What do I mean? Most plants send roots deep down, 2-3 feet, to find water. Blueberry roots are incredibly shallow. They are a fibrous mat that sits in the top 6 inches of the soil. They lack the fine root hairs that other plants use to suck up water. This makes them terrible diggers. The mistake. People dig a deep hole, throw the bush in, and bury it deep for stability. This suffocates the plant. The roots need oxygen. Plant proud. When you put your blueberry bush in the ground, Plant it so the root ball is actually 1 inch higher than the surrounding soil level. Then mound soil up to it. This ensures drainage. Blueberries love water. They are swamp plants, but they hate drowning. If the roots sit in standing water for 24 hours, they can die. By planting high, you ensure the crown stays dry while the roots drink. And never ever cultivate around a blueberry bush. Do not use a hoe. Do not pull weeds aggressively. You will rip that shallow root mat apart. Hand pull weeds gently. Law number 3 concerns what you give them to drink. Blueberries are divas about water. In the summer, because their roots are so shallow, they dry out instantly. If a blueberry bush dries out even once during fruit set, it will drop all its berries. So you have to water them. But wait, if you hook up your garden hose to your city tap water and soak them, you might be killing them. Why? 2 reasons. Chlorine. City water is treated. Blueberries are sensitive to chemicals. Liquid limestone. Most tap water is hard. It contains dissolved calcium, lime. Every time you water with hard water, you are raising the pH of the soil. You are undoing all the work you did with the sulfur. You are slowly poisoning the soil with alkalinity. Blueberries demand rainwater. If you are serious about blueberries, set up a rain barrel. It is acidic, it is clean, and it is free. If you must use tap water, add a tablespoon of vinegar to the watering can to neutralize the alkalinity. It sounds crazy, but it saves plants. Law number 4. Blueberries are social creatures. You go to the store. You see a bush labeled self-pollinating. You buy just one. Technically, yes, a high bush blueberry can pollinate itself, but it will be a sad, lonely existence. A self-pollinated bush will produce small berries and a low yield. You need to plant at least 2 different varieties, preferably 3. But here is the trick. They must bloom at the same time. Blueberries are categorized as early, mid, and late season. If you plant an early variety, like Duke, next to a late variety, like Elliott, they won't help each other because the flowers won't be open at the same time. You need a chain. Plant a Duke early, a blue crop mid, and a Chandler mid-late. The bees will bounce between them, mixing the pollen. This cross-pollination triggers a hormonal response in the plant. The berries will be 20 to 30% larger and ripen faster. Never plant a blueberry alone. And finally, law number 5. This is the hardest one. This requires discipline. You order your bush now. It arrives in April. You plant it. In May, it produces beautiful little white bell flowers. You get excited. You think, I'm going to eat blueberries this year. If you let a baby blueberry bush produce fruit in its first year, you are stunting it permanently. Producing fruit takes an immense amount of energy. The plant will pour all its sugar into the berries instead of growing roots. The bush will stay small and weak. You must be the villain. In the first spring, and ideally the second, you must go out and pinch off every single flower. It hurts. It feels wrong, but by removing the flowers, you tell the plant, don't be a parent yet, be a teenager. Grow. The energy will redirect into the root system and the canes. The bush will double in size. If you sacrifice the berries in year 1, you will get double the yield in year 3, and exponentially more in year 10. You are investing in the future. Growing blueberries is not like growing radishes. It is not a quick fix. It is a relationship. You are planting a bush that could feed your grandchildren.